Hello and welcome everybody. I'm Darlington Moses. Today I have with me three guests who will be talking about the situations of drug abuse in the country and also provide solutions generated from youth perspective, because we understand it is young people who are mostly involved in drug abuse.
My name is Alia Joyce, a member of Concern Youth and representing women in this Concern Youth leaders.
All right, that's very good. We are happy to have you today.
Thank you.
All right.
Well, thank you, iRadio, for giving us this very vibrant discussion, a very wonderful and cordial discussion to tackle on current status of our nation regarding the status of drug use in South Sudan. So my name is James Adalkot. I'm a spokesperson of the Concerned Youth Leaders South Sudan. So thank you.
Welcome. Thank you so much to have you today.
Yeah, my name is Anai David Dot, chairperson, Concerned Youth Leaders of South Sudan. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Chair, I'm really happy to have you guys. So maybe basically you can tell us about what Concerned Youth do. Are you guys advocating for rights of these young individuals, or it's just a brand name like with different purpose?
Yeah, Concerned Youth Leaders of South Sudan, this is a group of young leaders from political parties that have come together to advocate for the rights of the youth of South Sudan, because we are concerned about our rights. So it is very important today for us to talk about the drug abuse that is affecting the young people, and it is our concern as youth leaders to talk about it.
All right, thank you so much. So this is our basic introductions. Now we're just starting it right away. We want to understand what is the state of drug abuse among young people in South Sudan. Can we just try to discuss the basic status quo of drug abuse in South Sudan? Like let me start from you. What do you know about drug abuse in South Sudan, and to what extent has it reached when it comes to involvement of young people into that?
Well, the drug abuse is basically currently widespread across the country. Let's say starting in the capital, Juba here. We are recently witnessing a lot of violence, and these are caused by misuse of drugs, basically the drug abuse. The same situation in Wau and Malakal, which has affected not only the youth mental, but also the society, and also the security situation of the country.
Right. Can we go next? Our agenda.
Okay, from my observation, I think it is widely spread across South Sudan. Some states which are very, very, very rampant. Like for example, in Juba, you see any residential area, at least there is a people or youth who are engaged in these drug abuse activities. So I think I can say it is widely spread.
All right. Sure.
Yeah, the issue of drug abuse with our young people, especially our youth, is very high in South Sudan. You can just get the example here in Juba. If you just move on the streets here, just along all the streets of Juba here, you will find these young boys very, very drunk, and they are inhaling this what they call silicon. So this one is really very high in South Sudan and in the other states, and it has led to most of these Toronto's gangs, rapping, you see. So it has become very high and a concern to the nation.
You know, it just starts within small group of young people abusing drugs, but now it escalates within neighborhood, causing havoc in the areas. You know, in those areas there are school children, there are young people who shouldn't have been actually seeing violence within. Anyway, let's leave that there for now. Now let's try to frame the situations, to frame the issue by starting it from looking at what are the primary causes of drug abuse, or what do you think are the reasons why today young people are turning into drug abuse instead of focusing on other social, let me say, positive social livelihood that should be more of enhancing their future or future ahead of them. So what are the primary causes?
Well, there are numerous factors that lead used to these drugs abuse and criminal activities. One, I can say, is the current status of the economic situation of the country. Also, it can pose use to engage in these criminal activities, robbing. But because you have to form a group, after forming a group, maybe the group may not be that much for you to create a violence unless you use a drugs. Okay, after using that, then drug will influence you, so you do what you want, like robbing and then killing and even raping.
Yeah, now
So-
before you go further, I want you to maybe explain for us further, how does economic situation contribute to young people turning into drug abusing?
Basically, it's lack of, let me say, basic needs starting.
Basic needs.
Another thing is, let me say, parental care also is matters, because if within your family the economic is not stable, then the youth will scatter, or your child will go on the streets. By joining the street, will have no control, so the child will have to think what he or she can do so that she survive for the sake of survival. You see, you may find some of them. It's very hard for you unless you go and loot. Once you loot, then you have to survive. Okay, so what will make you to loot is by using a drug, either bangi or smoking other substance that will force you to gain the interest so that you can survive.
Yeah, the other thing to add on it, one of the factors that is contributing to drug abuse is lack of opportunities. If you see, if most of the youth, they are unemployed, and most of them they don't have access to go to school to access education. Now from there, they end up becoming stressed. So when they end up becoming stressed, they take drugs and they end up on the street, you see. So if they had opportunities like jobs, for example, if you're employed and you are sustaining yourself, then you will not be under that kind of influence. But because of that trauma of being jobless and you don't have money to go to school, will force you to go for drugs, such that you may think that these drugs will relieve you from stress and so on, and from there you will end up on the street being a drug addict. So this is one of the contributing factors.
Now, from the perspectives of young women, let me say ladies or young girls, who we really know, like let me say the society, they really know that girls are like the most innocent young people within the areas or within the country. But now we have had report of many young girls involving into drug abuse, and there has now become worse. I don't know, because of some vulnerabilities that I cannot be able to understand. Now, can you tell us, according to your own view or your own research, because I believe you might have been doing such research to understand the situation, what do you think is influencing these young ladies to involve in drug abuse?
Okay, from my perspective, I would say one, it can be peer influence, because you have seen some group of ladies, they are doing it, and you feel it's something better to fit also in that group, you must be doing it. And then secondly, it's like now, like the group we already formed, and they have like a boyfriend and a girlfriend. So within that group, sometimes they will say, if you are a girlfriend of that group, so you have to practice some of these like drug abuse, so that you feel like the shyness is taken out, so you feel like everything you can do without fear. So I think it's one of the issue. And certainly it's like now we have moved out of culture and then our social norms that mostly that protect ladies, that in our most of our culture don't accept ladies at the younger age to drink. But because there is no parental guidance and there is a generation gap, and there is a modernity that comes in and gave us the gap that now you can do anything. People now say that culture is bad because now we're in town or we're in modern. So you'll find even girls as young from age of 15 are involved in some activities like drinking, going to disco, and moving at night, late hours. Yet it has not been the case in our culture or in our like the time we were growing. So I think these are the challenges. Like one is the loss of parental guidance and mentorship, or generation discussion between the younger and the older. Then the peer influence, which is cutting, and then the relationship issue of a boyfriend and girlfriend. You want to maintain that, so you have to be in that kind of setting, because if your boyfriend is there and is doing that, you must be doing it so that you feel that you are loved, or you're also one of the strongest lady.
Exactly. Yeah. So now let's try to also talk about the social media that we see, like literally every young people, like let me say every young person in the country, in Juba, other major cities within the country, Malakal, other towns like Torid, Magui. So you see there are a lot of people who are now engaged in using this social media, and most of whom are young people. Now, do we think we can link also some of these peer pressures to engagement on social media that young people have taken over already? Do they also learn this stuff from social media?
I think from social media they learn from the musicians. Some of them when they feel most of these musicians are their role models, and they feel what they do is right. Because when you are young, you cannot analyze why this person is in such kind of situation. So they think what they see from maybe either the music is what is good. So they start imitating it, and they use it. Some they go and use maybe watching the high school music where there are gang groups, and they do bad things. So that for them, they don't think that movie is to address some kind of challenge or issue. For them, they take it personal and they start practicing it. But some movies are acted to address some issues that is happening, and we need a correct way. So for them, because there is no proper guidance, I still go there to tell that some of these movies are not for you to practice it, but it's to learn from the mistake of those. So mostly, I think this is what our youth are doing from the social media part.
Okay, let's the gents try also to react on how does social media influence peer pressure on using drug among young people.
Well, I can say directly that there is a misconception between our cultures and then Western influence, you see. So let's say let's say gangs, okay? In the US there are gangs. They call it gangsters, niggers, you see. But then there's a difference between US gangs and then the gangs that we are just cramming here in South Sudan here. You see those stars in the US, okay? They call themselves gangs. But at the end, they own a very big businesses. This is whereby the gangs, they have their money come from. Yeah. But for us, we don't know. We thought that those gangs, they only loot. They go loot, they take people properties, they do a lot of stuff in terms of violence so that they gain the wealth that they have. So this is what is happening here in South Sudan. So we join ourselves as a group. We go Board Street, Wall Street, whatever street we go, we murder, we loot people property, then we call ourselves gangs, so that we can be like those of Chris Brown and so forth, Western this one. But then those people own, you may find some of them own this one real estates, like those of Rick Ross. They own very big businesses, companies in the world. They are even richer than anyone. So I can tell my young people that is not the way we will become like them. You know, you have to start businesses. You go move with a very good promoter in your music industry, but then don't engage into criminal activities. So it is only by flying drugs so that you become like that. This is what I can say, misuse of media.
All right. For our chair, I'll have a different question for you. Now, let's try to talk about the age group of these young people who are more vulnerable to drug abuse, with some of the peer pressures coming in from the social media they're using or they're engaged in. So what do you think this age bracket, like what are the age group of these young people mostly vulnerable to peer pressures and influences?
Yeah, most of these young people that are vulnerable to the peer influence, this one that are under those ones that are under 18, most of them, you find them on the street. And also, it varies, by the way. Those that are under peers' influence, they are young ones. They are caused by, they are influenced by their colleagues. When they see a fellow colleague is drinking alcohol, taking drugs, you also would like to take it. So at that age, when it comes to those age that are 18 and above, they are also influenced by the peers, but they are also affected by the what I narrated before, like lack of job opportunities. Those opportunities, they can influence people. They can make you to take drugs. Those are the one affecting the young people. So most of these young leaders, young youth, they are influenced by drug abuse because of trauma and so on.
All right. Now we have learned that our population is constituted of 70% or more than 70% of young people, meaning young people, they're really the future leaders. They're everything. They should be treated with care and caution because the future belongs to them. The future of South Sudan belongs to them. Recently, we celebrated our 14th anniversary of our independence, meaning we are progressing. Now, what do we think this widespread drug abuse among young people, what kind of impact will it have on our future, on the future of these young people, and on the economy of the country itself? Because we understand that one of the contributing factor is the economy itself. It's not stable. But then let's also try to look at the angle of what kind of impact will it create when the widespread drug misuse is continuing in the country among young people.
Thank you for this question. Since the issue of youth being in drugs is a high concern in the country, and because these young people that are on the street, these are the revolutionaries of our country in future. Now, if we don't take care of these young people, they will be harmful to our nation. For example, these youth, these young people who are on the roads affected by the drugs, they need recreational centers. These young people, they need recreational centers for them to be rehabilitated. Two, they have to be given opportunities. If we don't take care of them, they will destroy our country. So they need opportunities to be given to them such that they become good citizens. So that is the little I can say.
Well, the impact is very huge, not only to the entire nation, but personally, earning your career, okay, as a person, something very, very huge. Because you yourself, you are the wall. You may create a generation, and then a generation, and you serve so many people in so many ways. So I can say it's not only personally, but the impact is also contributing to our security, because you go and murder someone, you end that person's life, or you loot their properties. They will end up whatever dream they were pursuing. So in this case, I can say our government have to be very conscious, and as also the youth, we need to be very determined, because if you set up yourself, you set up your own goals, you focus, you don't mind about whatever difficulties you're going through, one day you will be a somebody in the future. Yeah.
Yeah, can we hear from you also?
Okay, from my perspective, I think the impact will be very huge, right from the family level, because you'll find like the number of children you have, all if they are engaged in this drug, it's like you have done nothing. Because in our human relation or human life, you have to produce so that and grow them up so that when you are old, you are taken care of. But in this case, when like you have 2 or 3 kids who are engaged in this, and then it's like future is negative for you. You know that no one is going to take care. Sometimes they die faster because the lifespan reduces. Because sometimes you'll find even the mothers are burying their children or fathers are burying their children before them, and who will take care of them when they are now at the older age? We look at that as at the family level, and then at the national level or at the state level. Like you see, we are losing laborers. We are losing the effort that can do production in different aspects, whether working in the offices, whether working in the field. So it's most of them, they will be mentally disturbed, so they will not be able to do effectively as someone who is not having that drug addict behaviors or side effects. So I think this is what I can think. And then the future of the nation will have, I think there is a challenge for the future, because now we have nothing to say that we have future when the youth are all mentally disturbed and they cannot think for the nation.
Some of the impact of the drugs on our nation is that these drugs are affecting the health of the young people, because when they take drugs, they become, these drugs, they also affect the health. So at the end, they end up dying. And when they die, we are losing the young leaders for the future. So the other thing is they lead to crimes and violence. You see, most of these crimes being done by the Torontos, these gangs on the street, these are due to drugs impact on the young people. The other thing is breakdown of families. Those youth who take drugs, when they come back home, they come and fight. They may even come and ask, where is food? And if there's no food there at home, they will start beating people, fighting at home. If it is a man that is under the drug abuse, and then he will start fighting the woman at home. So you see, so this one is affecting the young people, and this is a great concern for our country if we don't address them. You see, and these are the people raping our girls on the world because they are under drug influence. So those are the things that I had wanted to add.
Well, I can add that drugs have not only driven youth into criminal activities, but also some other edges, like you may find even the very people committing this crime on roads. Most of them are not young people. They are mature. They are mature age. So I can say these drugs, if there is something we can do about it, because not only driving youth. I know youth are the most largest population in the country, but also majority of these road crimes are not committed by the young people, let me say. You see, so we need to be determined on, let's say, youth are also within the country, within the towns, but also the road crimes are this mature, the one at mature age. So these are the stages we are talking in, and the influence also, they are influenced by their own peers at that particular age, those who are involving in those road criminal activities.
For the last 2 weeks, I think I was engaged with some young people in one of the schools in Juba, and these are young people, like 11 years old and 13, like people born inside our independence. So some of them were having the courage of talking about drug abuse and how the government should actually contribute to stopping that, meaning they are already terrified, like they already have the experiences. of drug abuse or people abusing drug and coming to create havoc within the societies. Now, I want us to first answer these short questions. Is drug abuse among young people be treated as a health matter or a crime itself? What do you think about that?
I can say it's both a health matter and also it's impacting on health matter, and then also drive them into a crime matter. Both, let me say, country to both sides. But then to the government also, government has to do a numerous thing to tackle this issue or to take control of the states of drug use, particularly to these one who are already engaging into these drug activities.
I get that. Preserve some of the solutions for the right questions. So can we just try to talk? Is it a health issue or it is a criminal matter?
Drug abuse is it is both, because when we talk about health, it affects the well-being of a person when they take it. When we say it is a crime, because it makes you to under bad influence to do certain bads, it makes you to commit crime, so it becomes a crime itself. It can be categorized under crimes. That is why certain drugs are banned in the country. They are treated as certain things that are leading to crimes.
Is it a health issue or it's a crime?
Okay, from my perspective as a health personnel, in public health we say that health is not merely the absence of disease, but you have to be mentally okay, economically and socially, even spiritually okay. And then you look at the aspect when someone is involved in drug abuse, it's like mentally you are not going to be okay. That is health aspect. You are going to like have sometimes they have that they feel hungry and they have to eat a lot of food from home and then even don't care about others. So you become like health in the health part you are not right, because a right normal person cannot eat the like the whole career of the food like the ish. But you find those one who are involved, they can eat because they are like their body system has become like very active more than the normal. So it's a health issue, because sometimes also they become mad. It's health issue. It become criminal also, a criminal issue, because now they are involved in the criminal activities. Sometimes when you take this drug, you start fighting. Others can pick knife. Even within the family, when you talk to them, they become aggressive, and they end up killing or hurting people. So it becomes a crime, because you are not supposed to, what you are supposed to use is not supposed to affect the other person.
Exactly. So now let's dive from there straight to the solutions, like from your side as a health personnel, and you also know it's a health matter. So how can we address this from the perspective of it being a health matter?
Yeah, from the health perspective, we look at, because it's a public health concern, when numbers of population is engaged in this, and then our population will become having health issue, which is the major is the mental illness among the youth. So we will find that we need to address by counseling is one of it, because we need to counsel and we need to take this youth for psychosocial support program. Psychiatrist, like you have to learn why sometimes they enter and then because of peer influence, and when they put in that program, I think they can really address themselves and say that they have moved so far with what is not right. That is at the health perspective. That's why we call that we need rehabilitation centers that can rehabilitate them and change their lives from their health perspective. And then from the criminal perspective, we can say the enforcement of law that can reduce that kind of criminology that's caused by maybe the drugs, because now the drugs is being smuggled or imported, I don't know, by people who know that thing is affecting. So we need to crack down those who are in the business, so that it will reduce consumption, and also put some laws that really, if you are caught as a child buying that, you'll be asked especially sometimes you can be a younger age and others can be at the age of from 18 and above, so they can be accountable for their actions.
Exactly. Thank you for that.
I think to the government and law enforcers, they have to be very serious about this, because we witnessed it recently. Some were detained, some were arrested in regarding to this involvement of criminal activities, including raping and murdering. You see, so to the law enforcers, you have to make sure anyone committing such a crime should be held accountable when apprehended. Okay, should be held accountable according to what the law says. But in a context whereby today you are detained and then after 3 days you are released, in a case where you are supposed to spend either 3 years in prison, 6 years, 10 years, and other cases like murder, life in prison.
So
Okay.
maybe
So-
can you tell us what do you think is happening when someone is today maybe jailed and tomorrow after 3 days they are released, but you really know their term should have been exceeding those periods. So what do you think is really happening between the law enforcers?
Yes, between the law enforcers and also the criminal. Let me say, the high crime, there will be a high state of this one rising criminal activities, because you will see your peers that are detained tomorrow, they are detained today, and then after 3 days they are released, while they have been murdered. Okay, they are released. So you will just feel like there's nothing. You will just end up mobilizing a lot.
So
and then involved.
I'm meaning
Let me
like-
give example. Yes, I understand. Let me give example of some of them were detained, and then we saw that they are being taken to Nasir. You see, so I can say taking them to Nasir is not a solution. Okay, we have laws that can handle the cases accordingly. Okay, so taking them to Nasir is still another case, because I don't know, you go and equip them with arms, they will still escape and then come back with the same methods, because there are no, let me say, prosecution or punishment being done to them. So this is how widespread of criminal activities is being rising in South Sudan.
Exactly. Can we
Yeah,
talk
to
on
me,
some issues, yeah?
to me, it is very important for, and by the way, I'm appreciating our government for banning some of these drugs, some of alcohol that are really very harmful to the young people, and we encourage this to be continued, banning this drug from being sold in the country. The other thing is, schools can play a great role. They can have these clubs, health clubs, that can talk about the dangers of the drugs. So it is very important. Like teachers also, they need to emphasize on advising, educating the young people about the dangers of drugs. I learned not to take drugs when I was in school. I was saved in school by learning how dangerous. If you smoke, it will affect your health. Like it can destroy your cancer. So that thing came to my mind. I mean, it can cause cancer to you.
Cancer, yeah.
The liver and all those, even alcohol. So I took that one into my mind, that if I smoke, I will have those sicknesses. So that thing prevented me from that time, and this is what I learned from school. So schools are very important to preach this message to our kids, our youth in schools. The other thing is our parents. Our parents have a great role to play. They can talk to their children. The parental care is very important, because if we leave those young kids like that to go to the street, we don't take care of them, we don't monitor them, how they are living in their houses, that thing is very dangerous to our kids. And this is where we can build up our kids at home. Now if we don't take care of them at home, they will end up on the street taking drugs and so on. So it is important for the parents to take care of our kids, monitor them, how they come up. So this is what I can add.
Okay, that's brilliant. Now, for us to really give good solutions to curtailing drug use, we really have to know which kind of drugs is actually in a widespread use and abuse among young people. Is it alcohol, marijuana, or marungi, those stuffs. Can we just try to, according to your research, which one is actually is widespread and people are not able to control?
The one that is widespread is alcohol, because most of them. So there is this alcohol with the red cap.
Star James, James family.
Yeah, that thing is cheap, and when someone just want to take it, you will just go and buy it. It is very high, and that is where young people go and buy and bring that alcohol. So it is very dangerous.
So what can the government do? Because once something cheap, many people tend to go and buy, because our population, like most of us, we are poor in South Sudan. So meaning we can go for cheap things easily. What do the government have to do to make sure they curb the spread of misuse of drugs?
It is not all about being cheap, but let me say it has to be banned in our country, because it is very harmful to the health status of our youth. So it has to be banned by the government, and our business community should also help us in shaping our country, because even if it is banned by the government, they will still go and sell it under the ground. So our business community should help us by when government has banned the drugs, then they have to abide by the laws that are.
No, what approach do you think? What approach do you think the business community should take if even it's the same alcohol they're selling actually supporting their business? What kind of approach do you think they should take to make sure that they help the government in curtailing such?
One thing they have to put in mind is that whatever you are selling, first you have to see its impact on the people. If it is harmful, you need to invest in another business. So it is not necessary to invest in this kind of alcohol in business. So it is important, when you see it is causing harm to the society, you create a business that will not cause harm.
Exactly. So what could be your last word to the audience, to the public, even to the government, if you have forgotten some before?
Yeah, my message to our people, and it's to the government in particular, we need recreation of these facilities for young people who are traumatized. The majority here are on the street, and if a recreational center can be created for them, they are put there, they are trained, given skills, and then these people will become self-reliant, and they will not act in this kind of drugs that are affecting them. So it is important to give them opportunities, also the access to education, such that they will have to go to school, especially those who are traumatized. They end up going for drugs. So it is important for them to have access to education, such that they graduate and become good people of the country. My message also to our parents, especially, because parents can play a great role in shaping their children. They should always monitor and take care of the children, not to allow their children being influenced by their peers. The other thing is the schools. The schools have to play great roles by creating clubs that talks about the danger of drugs. The media also, I encourage you to continue with the spirit. You can even call this. You can go to the street, ask them what made them to go to the street? How did they end up going to the street taking drugs?
We have limited press freedom. You may end up sleeping in the Blue House.
so the media can play a great role. So by preaching, telling this girl this message of dangers of the drug abuse, its impact, negative impact on the people. So this is what I can say.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Maybe let's go to the corner, then we'll summarize.
Well, thank you. The government have to play a great role in terms of policies implementation, and according to our constitutions, all the drug abuse are prohibited. Okay, they are not allowed to be used. For instance, you may walk around here, you find someone smoking bangi. They're using this wheat, all kind of substance that are banned by our constitution, but law enforcers don't take them seriously. Okay, even some of these officials, they're also involved into this. They use it. Some of them say that you use a drug so that you perform as a coughing mechanism, you see. But then the young one will also follow you and then end up misusing it, you see. So this happens in the context of our country, where our law enforcers have to be very serious about it. Taking, giving them also to my own peers, to the youth like myself, I can say, please don't involve yourself into such activities. Set yourself a goals. Pick yourself a very nice thing. Whether you want to be a business person, want to be a politician, want to be a teacher, whatever dream you want to go through, please, you will achieve it one day. In terms of media, you have to be also very careful using a media platform, because media is good, even criticism is good, but you have to make sure you align with the law at the same time. So to my young people, it is very important. Set yourself a goal. If you set yourself your goal, your passion will also protect you, because you will be always mindful and thoughtful of whatever you are forcing on media. It is my message to the nation.
Exactly. So maybe finally, you can tell us, from perspective of being the only female in the house, what message will you extend to young girls, young women out there when it comes to drug abuse and their involvement in?
Okay, my message to all young women or even young boys is like, being in drug is not showing that you are great. Being in drug does not show like where you can get a coping mechanism, because you are going to add more problems to you. The only way is, if things are hard, we are all having hardship, but we try to live according to our reach. Like, if you can't get it today, know that you can get it tomorrow. Don't stress yourself because you cannot get what the other person is getting today, so you end up saying life is not good, there is nothing I can have, like no hope. There is hope when you put something in determination. We found most of youth are engaged in cigarette smoking. Then for them, they'll say they want to try, so that at the certain age they will stop. So there is nothing that you try. By the time you are going to stop is when your lungs are damaged. Even your kidney or your liver is already having septic, like the chemicals already, the amount is already large. So you will die at the lower age, or the less age that you are supposed to live. If you are engaged in ice, you become distressed. Sometimes you overeat, or you oversleep, or you don't function without it. So it's a must for you to do it, and you don't have money to lead you to the crime of stealing, maybe robbing. So these are not some coping mechanism for you to say that let me enter into drugs. And if you're a woman, if you're younger like us now, your life is in danger, because anytime when you move with the group, anytime you can be raped, anytime you can be getting unwanted pregnancy, anytime they can also kill you and take your organs, because when you are in drug, you don't know yourself. And for us as ladies, we are double vulnerable, because you can be raped and with the gangs or with the group. So I think it's a message I can say, let us, as youth of this nation, let us have greater hope. Things might not work today, but it will work if we are determined. Slowly you move. You start like business, you start like, maybe if you in the acting, you start acting. If in the music, you do music which is clean. You have to be a songwriter. You can specialize yourself in songwriting. You can specialize yourself in the vocal, like a vocalist. You can back even in the music, the instrument playing. That's where you specialize yourself. It's not necessary that you have to do all within the music industry. So I think if you want to be in the music industry, specialize yourself and become someone that people can look for you, even if you are aware they will look for you because they feel that you can do better. It's not entering yourself into. So also in the media, we should be critical about things that we see in media. Some of them are not real. Some of them can be also artificial intelligence that has been put in order to make you maybe see things are real. Let us understand from that perspective that some things are not real, that maybe you can see this musician is smoking like this. Sometimes it's not real. So let us just try to be ourselves, not copying from others negatively. We can copy positive things, but negatively we live. This nation needs us youth. We cannot just destroy ourselves like this. Our parents need us. Even ourselves, we need ourselves to live a good life. We need to have better thinking, not like this copy mechanism of entering into drugs. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Once again, viewers and the audience right there, really pleased to have hosted this brilliant guest who spoke and also shared their perspectives on drug use and drug abuse among young people. So you can even be more of solutions for us by providing for us your solutions, or what strategy do you think the government should have to exploit or to employ to curtail the misuse of drugs among young people, by just dropping the comments in the comment section below in our Facebook or YouTube channel, iRadio South Sudan. We may explore other topics in the later dates, and thank you for watching.